Welcome back to Comfortably Me. This is episode number 7. And I am your host, Vanessa Elaine. Let's get into it. So today we're going to be talking about loyalty. Loyalty and blurred lines, because as much as we all want to say that we are loyal, it sometimes depends on who we're referring to or what the situation is. And as you get older, you'll realize that the people that you think are loyal to you, or the people that you think that you are loyal to, sometimes those lines are going to cross. And does that make you a bad person? No, not necessarily. Because I do believe, I'm not saying it's right and I'm not saying it's wrong, but there are blurred lines when it comes to loyalty sometimes. So let's get into it. As you get older and you go through different experiences in relationships and friendships or whatnot, you're going to realize that at some point, someone's going to either be the villain in your story, or you might play the villain in someone else's story. And when you play the villain in someone else's story, that means you hurt them in some way, or you were disloyal to them. So does that make you a bad person? That's where the blurred lines come. So let's just break down what is loyalty. And also I have a question from one of our, I don't know what name I should give you guys. I really don't. My comfortability people, my besties. Yeah. So I do have a topic question from one of our besties, one of my BFFs. She DM'd me and I really wanted to help her. It was a long DM, so I haven't read it yet. So this will be the first time I'm reading it, and I'm going to answer her question on camera, on film. So I looked up the definition of loyalty because a lot of people have different meanings. So I went ahead and did my own little research on the definition of loyalty, and I wanted to see what Webster has to say about it. Loyalty is defined as being faithful to a cause, ideal, custom, institution, or product. Faithful to a private person to whom faithfulness is due. Why did it specify to whom faithfulness is due? See, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's always an underlying, because I just feel like as people are going to perceive certain situations differently. We're not one-track minded. You're going to be dealing with people with different mindsets, different point of views, different opinions, different backgrounds. So you can't possibly think that at some point in time, those lines are not going to intersect. I just want everyone to understand that being loyal can come at a cost. And sometimes you're not willing to pay. At some point, being loyal to a certain situation, a certain place, a certain person can come at a cost that may be too expensive for you to pay out. Because if being loyal to someone else makes you feel like you're betraying yourself, that's not being loyal, that's being manipulated. That's going against what you should stand for, and you should always stand for yourself. Being loyal has nothing to do with betraying yourself. It shouldn't feel that way. The number one person that you should be loyal to is yourself. So that's why I said at some point in time, you are going to be the villain in someone else's story. And you have to be okay with being the villain in that person's story. Because knowing that if you would have chose what they believe to be loyal, and it would have, in the end, made you feel like you're betraying yourself, it's not worth it. And that's where the blurred lines come in. Loyalty is not one-sided. And with loyalty, I just feel like both parties have to come to an agreement as to what that looks like. Both parties have to come to an agreement on boundaries. Both parties have to come to an agreement on what does betrayal look like. If you do A, B, and C, I'm not with that. I'm going to feel some type of way, and I'm not going to think you are for me. So when it says faithfulness is due, who is your faithfulness due to? Ultimately, y'all know I'm going to bring up Jesus, because that's who you really should be loyal to. The moment you start becoming loyal to Jesus, everything will be clear. You will not be confused. You will not be entertaining friendships, relationships that are not for you. Because when you're in alignment and you're loyal to something, like if you're loyal to God, you're not going to go against anything that affects that relationship that you have with Christ negatively. And in the long run, that benefits you. Not even in the long run. Right away, you'll see the benefits of doing that. That's where obedience comes into play. When you're loyal to something, you're obedient to whatever the act is. And we all know the benefits of being obedient. Like, for instance, like even a dog. You get a dog. You start training a dog. Once the dog starts obeying your commands, you get a sort of, yes, oh my God. A sort of excitement like, oh my God, yes, he or she finally got it. She gets it. Here's a treat. So if you feel so excited about your dog obeying your commands, and you'll give your dog a treat just for obeying that one command, and that means your dog is being loyal to you, what makes you think that God wouldn't give you 100 times more if you're loyal to him? Because when you're loyal to man, let me tell you about people. When you're loyal to people, everybody's looking out for their best interests. Okay? If it benefits them. And that's not how loyalty is supposed to work. It's not, like I said, loyalty is not one-sided. Loyalty is, even when you're not in the room, I got you. Even if we are apart, I got you. No matter what, I got you. No matter what the status of the relationship is, I got you. It's not when the relationship ends, I stop being faithful to what it was. The contract has ended. The friendship has ended. The relationship has ended. But I am still loyal. I'm a loyal person. And this is one thing I don't like. I always hear this where people always say like, you have to be born loyal. I used to feel that way. But honestly, it starts with your upbringing. If you was never around people who are loyal or had a sense of loyalty, or you saw people, it's always a get back kind of thing. Even like if you had siblings and it's always, oh, your sibling takes from you, then the other sibling takes, like it's always a get back. It's always like a revengeful thing. You're going to grow up in the world and you're going to act that way. Is it your fault or is it your environment? Your environment plays a part, but you don't have to stay that way. Everybody has the chance and the free will to change and transform their minds, and know that once you realize that there's more to life, that there's another side of that not everybody interacts that way, then that gives you the green light, like, okay, I have the chance, the audacity to shift my mindset and become this person that I did not know as I was growing up. I thought these things were normal, to act this way with other people, to sleep with other people, man, and think it's okay. And not feel remorseful about it. Steal from other people and think it's okay. Talk behind people back and think it's okay. Hang with people and talk behind their back. I thought it was okay because I saw people around me do it. And I just thought that's how girls act. No, that is not. That's not loyal. Loyalty is based on you. It's not based on the situation or the person that you're with. The loyalty has to be within you. You have to be a loyal person in order to give loyalty. Forget if the person gives you loyalty back. But you as a loyal person, that means you stand on your morals. You stand on what you believe is right and what you believe is wrong. No matter the situation, you're going to stand on your morals, what you believe is right and what you believe is wrong. And that can look different to many people. What they believe is right, what they believe is wrong, and what they agree to be morally correct. And that's how you have to watch who you befriend. You know how you'll get into relationships and friendships with people and you really don't know if they're loyal until their loyalty is tested. And sometimes their loyalty will not be tested until like years in. But you have to judge people by their fruit. You have to ask questions, like give scenarios. Okay, if A, B, and C happen, like, and you don't even have to give scenarios. You could just have a conversation about the things that celebrities get into. To be honest, like it's always something on the news. It's always something on social media that's going viral. It's always a toxic situation. Hey, what do you think about this? That's how you get to know someone's mindset, someone's moral, someone's belief system on whether they find morally correct and immoral. And once you realize that what that person believes is not in alignment with what you believe, don't be fooled. Don't think that you are exempt. But I'm not saying to cut people off once you find out that they are not up to your standards when it comes to loyalty. It all just depends on the situation. And I feel like that's okay. As I get older, I understand that people are different. And sometimes you're going to become friends. If you want your network of people to change, to look a different way, you're going to come across people that were raised differently, people that didn't come from the same neighborhood as you. So their ideas and their values on certain situations are very different. You're going to be like, what? But does that mean that they're bad people? No. But just know if this situation was to ever happen, they let you know how they feel. So don't be surprised when it does happen, their reaction. They already told you. They already showed you who they were. I'm just trying to help y'all understand, or not just help y'all understand, but really grasp the concept of understanding people, like your counterparts, and not judging so harshly and really giving people grace. I'm learning this as well, because sometimes I'm like, I don't play. And especially when it comes to loyalty, but I just realized that somebody can be a good person to you. It's just not everything aligns. And I just set up boundaries with certain situations. What are the standards of loyalty? What are your standards of loyalty? Like, think about it. Like, really think about it. What are your standards of loyalty? As for me, I feel like my standards of loyalty is do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. So I treat people with loyalty because I want to be treated with loyalty. And even if they don't give me loyalty back, I'm not going to change who I am, because then that switches to what? Revenge. I just move out the way. I just know, okay, you're not for me. You're not my person. And I move out the way. I don't get tied down with feelings. The worst thing you could do is make a decision when you're in your emotions or act out of emotions. Don't ever do anything in your feelings. That's a dangerous place to be. It's in your feelings. When it comes to making life-changing decisions, when it comes to speaking to someone, because many times we see that you can say something to someone that will hurt their feelings. And sometimes when you already say those words, it's hard to come back from that. Honestly, words hurt more than physical hits. More than you hitting someone, words hurt way more than that. It sticks with the person. And in the back of that person's mind, whether or not you apologize, even if you apologize, that person is side-eyeing you and listening to every little other thing that you say after that day and seeing if it matches up with what you just said while you was in your feelings. Be careful what you say when you're in your feelings. Because if you know that you're a type of person, right? When you're in your feelings, you cut deep, but you really don't mean it. That's you being disloyal to yourself, not so much the other person, because you're going against your morals. You wouldn't want someone to make you feel that way, so why would you treat someone else that way? Remember I said loyalty has nothing to do. I know we like to say that, oh, I'm loyal to people, and we make loyalty so much about the other person. And I want us to take that back, take that power back, because that's why when we get into relationships and we get into these friendships, like, I'm so loyal to this person. I was all about them. And when they show us the real them, we are so hurt. I was so loyal. No. You were who you are in the relationship. You are a loyal person, so you showed up as your full self. And now that person has showed you a different version of them that you do not agree with, oh, okay, I'm out. You will look at relationships a lot different once you realize that there's blurred lines in loyalty. I feel like those blurred lines sometimes can't be explained. That's where God comes in. Honestly, because those blurred lines may be God. Those blurred lines may be a factor of someone else's hurt. those blurred lines may be a factor of someone else's belief. Like I said, you being a loyal person has nothing to do with anyone else. It has everything to do with your morals and your principles and what you choose to live by. And you should express that to the person to see if it's in alignment. Let's dismantle what loyalty is not. Loyalty is not based off of how long I knew you. That makes me loyal to you because we have lasted this long. That is not loyalty. And I know a lot of times we'll get in relationships and we'll stay for so long and go through so much. But we feel like, oh, we're loyal to the person and he's loyal to me because he keeps coming back. We have some sort of love. No, that is not true. You have to ultimately be in love with yourself and loyal to yourself. Because sometimes you can be in love with yourself and in love with someone else and still have no loyalty because we have no control over who we fall in love with. I'm sorry. Because once those feelings get involved, baby, it's like gone with the wind. You have no control over that. But what you do have control over is who you allow to betray you. Because remember I said loyalty is based on you. So if this person is going against what you believe, your principles, your morals, and treating you horrible, then you have to check yourself. Because if you're a loyal person and you give that person loyalty, but they're not treating you with the same kind of loyalty, you're not reciprocating that loyalty back, then you know, okay, if I stay, I'm being disloyal to myself. So this is when I have to exit, because the first person that I have to be loyal to is God and myself. And in order for you to know yourself, you have to know God. So when I say you have to be loyal to yourself, that's you being loyal to God. Because you know, if you stay in this situation, if you stay loyal to something that does not want you, if you stay loyal to something that hurts you, if you stay loyal to something that doesn't add on to you, if you stay loyal to someone that does not add to you, that does not uplift you, God can't work in mess. You'll never go to where God needs you to go because you're choosing to be loyal to something that doesn't want you. You're choosing to be loyal to that person, place, or thing more than you are loyal to yourself. So you end up betraying yourself and the Creator can't even get to you. You can't even hear from God because you're in mess. Because you chose to be loyal to it more than you were loyal to yourself. I hope this is good because y'all, I don't know y'all. Because I'm trying not to say too much. You know, I just feel like I'm just trying to figure out a story like where I felt like a person was being disloyal to me and I stayed. Well, besides a guy, but relationships that are built on loyalty should not feel like anchors. And what anchor relationships are, just think about it. An anchor is on a ship. And a ship only lets down the anchor when it needs to be in a set location. When it doesn't want to go anywhere, when it doesn't want to move, when it wants to be still. Loyalty relationships should not feel like anchor relationships. You should not be still. You should not be stagnant in a relationship where loyalty is present. Because everything about loyalty moves forward. Think about your morals. Your morals is everything good. Your principles is everything good. And when you act on your principles and live by your morals, that's you moving forward. And anything opposite of that is you being still or you moving backwards. Loyalty should never feel like an anchor relationship. It should never make you feel like you have to be stagnant. It should never make you feel like you have to stay in this place or be complacent. I'm trying to wake somebody up. I'm trying to wake you up. I'm trying to make you realize that you have been loyal to everybody but yourself. You deserve to give yourself loyalty. The same loyalty that you're trying to give someone else and you can't even give it to yourself. Make it make sense. Loyalty is not one-sided. Let me just say that. Loyalty is not one-sided. I don't care. It's not one-sided. It's not. Let me tell you why loyalty is not one-sided. Because there comes a time where you're going to have to choose sides. The Bible says you can't have two masters. But it was talking about serving God and money. You cannot serve God and money because you'll love one master and hate the other. You cannot love both. When you are put in a situation and loyalty is a part of that situation, right? And a situation happens. Oh, let me just give an example because this is kind of like, I got to be very specific. So I don't know if these people are listening. I should ask before, but this is my story. So I'm not going to say any names. I remember in high school, I used to fight. I'm a lover now. But I remember getting into a fight with this specific young lady who, by the way, I love now. Like, I loved her. Well, I didn't really know her before, but whatever. Shout out to you. If you're listening, you already know what it is. We right here now. It's all love when we see each other, and it's nothing flawed, nothing fake. It's pure hearted. Love you, girl. But I remember I got into a fight with her, and we have a mutual friend. And at the time, when I was younger, I kind of understood it, but I was still mad. I got into a fight with the girl, came back to school, and the mutual friend was like checking me. She's like, "Why did you fight my friend?" Like that was like she was checking me. And I just felt like this has nothing to do with you. That's me and her business. If she's a loyal person, right? And the fact that two of her friends got into a physical altercation, she had to choose sides. I didn't ask her to choose sides, but if she's a loyal person, she's going to stand up for what is wrong and what is right. And if she's coming as herself and she says that I am a loyal person and I believe that A, B, and C is morally wrong, and she chose to, okay, I didn't like how you was moving. I didn't like how you did that. So I'm going to end this. I choose this side. And I don't even know if it really happened like that, but I just remember us getting into an argument and I was just like, okay, the fact that you're checking me, you chose a side. Since a young girl, I've been big on loyalty. I'm just right here with it. I understood the fact that she was so angry at me for fighting her friend. I just knew that it's going to come a time where she's going to choose sides. Even the things that she was saying, she felt like what I did was not morally correct. I was in the wrong. I then knew the fact that me and these girls, like this girl was my op. Basically, she was my op. So if you're siding, there's no mutuals in that. So that's the blurred line. Yeah, we both shared a mutual friend. But since it got to the point where it got physical, a physical altercation happened, oh, you got to choose a side. You have to choose a side. Because if you don't choose a side, it's going to choose you. Because if you don't choose a side, it's going to come a time where you're going to feel like you're disloyal to someone or you're going to do something that's disloyal. And you might not think it's disloyal, but that other person is going to perceive it as being betrayal. And I knew at that time, at the tender age of, I think I was 16, 17, at that age, I knew that it was going to be me that she was going to betray. Because she felt so strongly about going against what I did. So I knew that she valued. I know some people might think like, no, friends don't have to agree with everything you do. Granted, I understand that. But I just knew at that time, if another fight was to break out and she was there, she would not be on my side. And I can say that confidently, 100%. So what did I do? I helped her choose a side. We had stopped talking. We weren't friends after that. And I don't think we ever mended that relationship. Ever. Because I went to a new school. Child. Never. Loyalty and blurred lines. Does that make her a disloyal person? No. But the blurred lines is that in her mind, if A, B, and C was to happen, I have to choose a side. And I don't blame her. And at that time, I was young. I was stubborn. I felt like, you're not understanding where I'm coming from. She tried me. I had to defend myself. I'm not going to let nobody talk to me like that. I'm going to show her. That was my mindset. Crazy. Thank you, God, for growth. I was ratchet. Oh, my God. I was so ratchet. And be careful of the people who pretend to be loyal to you, but it's only for personal gain. Let me repeat that. Be careful of the people who pretend to be loyal to you only because they have something to gain in the relationship. Some people will only come around you because you coming around or them coming around you benefits them. Once you take away the benefit, you'll quickly see how disloyal that person is. Let's look at Jesus. Jesus and Judas. I don't think, and best believe that people's hearts towards you can change over time. Listen, people's hearts can change towards you. When people's hearts change towards you, it is not personal. Do not take it personal. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. They can't even explain it themselves because it's something going on spiritually, mentally, and they don't know how to articulate it. And to you, they acting funny. They don't even understand why they acting funny. And sometimes I feel like God creates this sort of thing to happen just to remove people out of your life because you're going into a new season. That's a clear indication that you're going to the next level, or God is bringing you to a new season, a new destination, a new environment, a new relationship. When things start looking funny, when you feel like there is no loyalty here, that means God is ordaining you to go somewhere else that these people cannot go. And it's going to look like you're betraying them because you have to let go, or you have to choose you. Yeah, back to Jesus. Okay. Don't ever think that people's hearts won't change towards you, right? Look at Jesus and Judas. Judas didn't always have the heart to go against God, to go against Jesus, to betray Jesus. It started, to me, from I perceive it. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. I haven't read this chapter in a minute, but the moment I realized when Judas was going to betray Jesus, or when his heart kind of changed towards Jesus, is when the woman with the alabaster box, it may have been a time before that, but this one stood out. This particular instance stood out to me the most. When she broke the oils, and it costed like a whole year of wages, and he quickly was like, why would she waste it on you? Like basically like, what? Do you know who you have before you? Not the man that fed the 5,000 in front of you, the man that walked on water, all this stuff he did. You asking me, why is she wiping her hair and anointing him with these oils, these perfumes, these scents, like he's not worthy of it? When people's hearts start to change towards you, they will be disloyal. Because you know why? They will choose a side that is not yours. And it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with what they think they will gain from betraying you. But betraying you to them doesn't look like much because they are being loyal to themselves. It goes back to what they think is morally right and morally incorrect. In Judas's mind, all of that went out the window. He walked with Jesus and he asking questions. He's questioning. I couldn't believe it. Money became his God. You cannot serve two masters. Who are you loyal to? The world? Are you more loyal to humans? Are you more loyal to your job? Are you more loyal to the relationship more than you are to God? Whoever is your master gets more of your loyalty. So if you're not giving loyalty to yourself, you're not giving loyalty to God, who is your master? Who is governing your life? That's a question you need to sit and ask and really observe and analyze your life. Who are you more loyal to? And I don't care if you go to church every Sunday or even if you participate in Bible study. I don't care. Your actions, who you choose to be loyal to, who you choose to master your life. We have to get out of the people-pleasing business. You have to stop being a pleaser of man, humans, more than you want to please God. You have to deal with the reality of you wanting to please humans more than you want to please God. Because that's why when it hurts bad. When they are disloyal to you, because anything you put before God becomes an idol in your life. And anything that becomes an idol in your life, God will quickly show you how it can all crumble down. How it can betray you, how he or she can betray you, how that person can talk behind your back, how that person say they ride for you, but they're the ones stabbing you in the back. God will quickly show you why you should never put an idol before him, idolize anything before him. That's adultery. I know we like to only associate adultery with marriage, but if he's the bridegroom, what are you married to? Who are you more faithful to? Who do you show more faithfulness to? Anything you put before God is idol worship. And God will definitely cause it to turn on you. And that's why I said that just because someone betrays you does not mean they are a bad person. Think of it as God removing what is no longer serving you or what hasn't served you since they met you. They may be good to someone else, but they're not good to you. It doesn't serve you. That's how you're going to quickly get over it. I'm trying to get y'all to heal from certain things that keep you bound, that you still holding on to that person that betrayed you 7 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago. You're still holding on to that. And then every time you meet somebody new, you have that unforgiveness in your heart, and you're not able to see people for who they really are. When they are good people, they are loyal people because they are loyal to God. But you're not receiving them because of what so-and-so did to you back then. So now you have these walls up. And this is the person God wants you to be in relationship with, because they're going to help you in your next season. Because everybody needs somebody. Yeah, you're going to need somebody. You can't do this alone. And I'm not saying so much of the person giving to you any tangible things. Sometimes you just need somebody to be able to call and they pray for you. You need that kind of community around you. You need that person to probably show you what real love is. You need that person to be able to pour into you. You need that person because they have the connection to your next destination. And God is trying to connect you to that person. But here you go putting these walls up because of who betrayed you in the past. It's not personal. There's blurred lines when it comes to loyalty. And the blurred lines has everything to do with God. Because sometimes God helps you take the trash out. I don't even mean to call people trash. I'm calling what they did to you trash. The act of it all. Because it made you feel some type of way. So the way it made you feel was negative. So it's trash. I'm not calling the people trash. Okay? So don't go around calling people trash now. And the Bible verse for today's episode is Isaiah chapter 44, verse 9 through 11. And it reads, "All who fashion idols are nothing, and the things they delight in do not profit. Their witnesses neither see nor know, that they may be put to shame. Who fashions a god or casts an idol that is profitable for nothing? Behold, all his companions shall be put to shame, and the craftsmen are only human. Let them all assemble, let them stand forth. They shall be terrified. They shall be put to shame together." Let me read out the part that stood out to me the most. It says, "Who fashions a god," and that's little g God. "Who fashions a god or casts an idol that is profitable for nothing?" You being loyal to people more than you are loyal to God, what will it profit you in the end? Any person that you put as an idol in your life, that you feel like you have to be more loyal to them than you are loyal to yourself, or more loyal to them than you are loyal to God, God will quickly show you, oh, this is just what I created. Why are you worshiping it more than you worship me? Why are you serving it more than you serve me? I'll fix that. Let me show you how quickly the hearts of man will change towards you. And sometimes people know when you are more loyal to them than you are to yourself. And they will put you in compromising situations. I hope that was good to somebody. It's not much to say. I said everything that needed to be said about loyalty. If you are a loyal person, you're going to know how to move. And I just want y'all to not hold personal or not hold on to unforgiveness when someone betrays you. Or when you feel like someone has wronged you that you thought should have been loyal to you. And I really want to touch on you being loyal as a person. Because remember, I said you have to show up as that loyal person. So don't do anything. Go against your morals because of what the world says is morally correct, or what the world glorifies, like sleeping with other people, man, or sleeping with married men. Things like that. Like, listen, it's more to life. You'll only end up leaving that situation more empty than when you came. The betrayal of yourself will cost you more than you betraying them. Because like I said, you have to play the villain in someone else's story. Sometimes when people benefit off of you being loyal to them, the moment you choose to become loyal to yourself and walk away, I'm not saying seek revenge and Because it's going to look like you're being disloyal when you leave the situation because they benefited and you took away that benefit. So they're going to make you feel like what you're doing is wrong. That's manipulation. It's perverted. And that's what the world will do, is pervert things that are supposed to be good. Being loyal, being a loyal person is supposed to be a crown. You're a loyal person. That's something. That's a positive. That's a good attribute to have. But the world will pervert what is good, what is supposed to be pleasing to God, what is supposed to be pleasing to one another. We're supposed to be sharpening one another. In the Bible, in Amos 4:4, it says, how can two walk together unless they agree? How can two walk together? So if we're walking together, we're hand in hand. That means we agree. That means we have the same morals. We are loyal to ourselves. Therefore, we are loyal to each other. We are loyal to the cause. We are loyal to Christ. But the world will pervert that. The world, you'll see how friends betray each other all the time. There's always a video that's going viral. There's always something online that someone posted. Oh, my best friend slept with my husband and they were having an affair for years. Somebody so close, somebody that you shared your most intimate secrets with. How could they do that? The hurt in that. Some things you cannot understand. But dust your feet off and leave. You are no longer welcomed there. Dust your feet off and go. But don't change you being loyal. Don't allow the hurt to change you and make you a person who betrays people or make you hurt people. Because we all know hurt people. And we're in a season of healing. But when you want healing, you cannot revert back to what people do to you. And as hard as it may seem to forgive, it's even harder to seek revenge. You know how much anger has to go into that? You know how much effort has to go into that? Because naturally, God allowed it to happen. And he's hoping like, okay, of course we have free will. But God always makes a way of escape. And if you don't take it and you choose revenge, it's just like, you have to put in so much effort to seek revenge. Once you choose to be loyal to God, it'll be a lot easier to forgive people who wrong you. Trust me. Forgive them, Lord, for they do not know what they do. They betrayed me. They don't know. It's hard to find genuine good people in this world, and they betrayed the only person that was going to ride for them. Truly. Sincerely. For they do not know what they do. They're lost. They're lost. Oh well. Life goes on. Moving on to better things.
Thank you for listening. It's not over yet. I just wanted to pop in and let you know that I am now on Patreon and I'm building my community. So if Comfortably Me has touched your soul, or you want to be a part of this community because you feel like you belong here, and sis, you do belong here, sign up and join my BFF group on Patreon. It's $5 a month and you'll get early access, ad-free, live Q&As, and merch, and exclusive voting power on topics and subjects, as well as exclusive videos from me, and you have full access to me. So sign up. I'm trying to grow my community on there, and I have a goal by the end of March to at least have 50 people join. Back to episode 7.
But instead of doing a song today, I'm going to answer one of our BFF's questions. So you can all submit questions to the email that's in my Instagram bio, which is comfortablyme101@gmail.com. And you can send in your questions. They'll be answered anonymously. I will not say your name. So let's read it. It says, "Hi Vanessa, I hope you're doing well. I saw your post that said men will do what they want for a woman if they want to do it with them. I have a question. I'm currently in a situation and I'm so hurt. There was this guy I was friends with way back in 2018. He told me he liked me, but as that time the feeling wasn't mutual, so I made him know. Our friendship was on and off, meaning there were periods where we were close and periods where we stopped talking. Fast forward 2020, he came around again and he did all the right things, made me know that he liked me in 2021 and the earlier part of 2022. He became intentional about talking to each other. We made out a number of times but never had sex with him. Good job. He wanted sex, but I never agreed to it. He was very demanding when it came to sex. Red flag. Then one day I realized that he didn't love me for me. It wasn't always about making out for him with me. I confronted him about it and he said he understood and respects that, so we'd have to part ways. I was really disappointed because he wasn't willing to work on himself. I was on Instagram in February this year only to see a picture of him getting married. YOH. I don't understand abbreviations. Sorry, YOH. What does that mean? I'm gonna look it up later. I screamed and laughed because prior to that I had a dream. God will always reveal it. I had a dream that someone from my past was getting married to someone I know. So I was ready for whoever. The thing is, last February, he and I still had a thing, and now he got married a year after. It shows I was being played. I congratulated him and he said thank you. Can you imagine? Trifling. Yesterday I was at a fair and I saw him. I believe he saw me too, but he said nothing. He didn't even approach me to say hi. The space of a fair was enclosed. It's easy for you to see people. The day before the fair, I felt in my spirit that he'll be there, and he was. Sounds like an emotional soul tie. His wife even came around the fair. I was so hurt. I was so hurt because he wasn't honest with me. One thing about me, I like to be honest with people and treat people well, like how I want to be treated. I did nothing to deserve this. I've been thinking of calling him to talk about it, to find out why he wasn't honest with me. What do you think I should do? Don't call him. Don't call him. Sis, whatever you do not pick up that phone. If you have to block his Instagram from you going on it, because I know you probably in your feelings about him betraying you, betraying your trust, but don't call him. God did you a favor. God showed you exactly who he was or who he is. Believe it. You don't need closure on this. And you have to be loyal to yourself at this moment. Because if you entertain calling him, what about P Sweet Talk you? Now you're dealing with a married man. I know that goes against your morals because I know one day you want to be married. Listen, you dodged a bullet. It just wasn't for you. And like in my last episode, the last episode before this one, I said sometimes the person won't be good for you or won't be good to you, but they'll be good to someone else. And you have to think about it like this. Your standards is this, right? And you don't know what that other woman is willing to put up with. That's what I'm saying. Like that person, when you were with him, he wasn't willing to do the work on himself. So that was a red flag. And that's why you guys chose to break it off. So remember the cons. Remember why you stopped talking to him. Forget the fact that he's married. And I feel like as women, we get so caught up on why not me? Like, is something wrong with me? It has nothing to do with you, sis. It has nothing to do with you. Nothing. You are wonderfully and beautifully made. You lack nothing. Continue to do the work in yourself. Continue to heal. Ask God to heal you from this. Ask God, why do I feel so deeply hurt about this when you already revealed the red flags to me? Why do I still even want to come into contact with this person? Why do I feel offended that he didn't come say hi to me when he is a married man? You got to check yourself because quickly you will fall into temptation. You will fall into something that you don't need to be entertaining. Why would you want? He's already taken. It didn't work out between you two. And happy that you did not have sex because it would have been a lot worse. But it seems like there is an emotional soul tie that has happened. And sometimes a lot of people don't talk about that. People don't talk about the emotional part of a soul tie, where you haven't had sex with that person, but you feel that stronghold. And you see that in friendships, when two people are friends, they were close, and then the friendship is no longer, but it's just like hard for that maybe one person to move on, and that person is weighing on them, and that's that emotional tie, and you have to break it. So you have to go into prayer about it. Be real with God, be real with yourself, but don't hold on to it. Forgive him. You have to let him go, because he's already let you go, sis. Let's face the facts. I'm sorry, I'm going to give it to you blood raw. That's what I like to do, because I don't like to sugarcoat. Because life, it will not sugarcoat things with you. Life is going to come. And when life comes, you have to be prepared. So if everyone sugarcoats everything with you, then how are you going to be prepared when the storm comes? God had you dodge a bullet. Take it as a blessing. Do not call him. Do not call him, sis. Don't even look for that validation. Because it seems like you still want to be validated by him. You got to think about, like, okay, if you call him, what do you want him to say? What do you expect him to say to you? And what if he doesn't say those things? You're looking for what from him? What exactly are you looking for? And whatever you're looking, I want you to write down I want you to write down the question. What exactly do I want to hear from this person? And read it out loud. And ask yourself, why do I want to hear it? What will it do for me? Because it seems like you're still attached and you still like this person. He is married. I wouldn't want my husband talking to anyone he had a relationship, a phone conversation with, where they were trying to get into a relationship. I wouldn't respect that. Especially, I would feel some type of way as his wife that you're even trying to call him and asking him about something that's in the past. He's married. And that's why I say about the whole loyalty thing, because a lot of women, we think of like, well, I don't owe her loyalty. You owe yourself loyalty. Would you want a woman to do that to you? Think about it. Because I wouldn't want no woman to try to call my husband because he done broke her heart. Yes, but he my husband now. I'm happy. Like, I don't know what they got going on over there. But sis, you're going to be happy too. Regardless if it's not him, it's going to be somebody else. And it's going to be somebody that's for you, that's going to have the work done, that's willing to do the work, that's willing to wait for you, willing to love you. And it's not going to feel like you have to force it. Why would you want to be with somebody like that you have to force it? It's not worth it, sis. I hope I was able to help you. DM me. And if y'all have any further questions, DM me. I'm here for y'all. It's your girl, Vanessa Elaine, and thank you for tuning in to Comfortably Me. Good night. Bye.